Ever wondered how to make authentic Indonesian rendang at home? Well, buckle up, because we're about to embark on a culinary journey to the heart of Indonesia. Rendang is not just a dish, it's a symphony of flavors that tells a story of a rich and diverse culture. Originating from the Minangkabau region in West Sumatra, rendang is a slow-cooked, spicy meat dish that has become an emblem of Indonesian cuisine. Our recipe calls for a delightful mix of ingredients. You'll need some good quality beef, coconut milk, and a medley of spices, including lemongrass, ginger, garlic, and turmeric, just to name a few. But don't worry, we'll go through each step together, ensuring you get that authentic rendang taste right in your kitchen. So, are you excited to get your hands on these exotic flavors? Ready to dive into the magical world of Indonesian cooking? Let's start our rendang journey. The first step in our culinary adventure is preparing our ingredients. Our journey into the heart of Indonesian cuisine begins with choosing the right cut of beef. Opt for a good quality stewing cut, such as chuck or brisket. You'll want to cut this into large, hearty chunks, about 2 inches in size. Remember, rendang is a slow-cooked dish, and we want the meat to tenderize beautifully while absorbing all the flavors. Next, let's move on to the spices. Traditional rendang uses a medley of spices, each adding its unique note to the symphony of flavors. Fresh turmeric, ginger, and galangal are our root spices. Peel them and cut into small pieces. We also need shallots and garlic, peeled and roughly chopped. Chilies, both fresh and dried, give our rendang its signature heat. Deseed them if you prefer a milder flavor. Lemongrass stalks should be bruised to release their aromatic oils. Don't forget the lime leaves, torn to release their zest, and the macadamia nuts, which need to be finely ground. All these will be blended into a paste, but we'll get to that in the next scene. For now, let's prepare our last key ingredient, the coconut milk. If you can get your hands on fresh coconuts, nothing like it. Crack them open, grate the flesh, and squeeze out the milk. If not, canned coconut milk works just fine. A couple of other ingredients to have ready are tamarind paste for its sour tang and palm sugar for a hint of sweetness, and of course salt to bring out all these flavors. One last tip before we move on. Indonesian cuisine is all about balance, and rendang is no exception. While we have provided the quantities, feel free to adjust according to your palate. More chilies for heat, less sugar for sweetness, or extra lime leaves for a citrusy punch. Make the rendang your own. With our ingredients prepared, we are ready to start cooking. Now comes the fun part, cooking the rendang. Let's start by warming up our pan over medium heat. As it heats up, let's take a moment to appreciate the symphony of flavors we're about to create. The spices we meticulously prepared in the previous step are now ready to work their magic. First, we're going to sauté the spice paste we made earlier. Picture a medley of garlic, shallots, ginger and chilies, all ground together to form a potent mixture, combined with the aromatic trio of lemongrass, kaffir lime leaves, and turmeric leaves. As the paste hits the hot pan, it sizzles and releases an intoxicating aroma that's uniquely rendang. Sauté it for about 5 minutes or until it's fragrant and the raw smell of the spices has disappeared. Next, it's time to introduce our meat to the pan. We're using beef today, but chicken or mutton can also be used based on your preference. The meat is added to the pan, mingling with the spices, soaking up the flavors. Cook it until it changes color. The meat will sear, sealing in the juices and ensuring each bite is packed with flavor. Now, we're ready to pour in the coconut milk. This is no ordinary milk, it's a rich, creamy substance that's going to give our rendang its distinctive richness and body. Pour it in slowly, letting it cascade over the meat and spices, and stir gently to combine everything. The coconut milk will start to simmer, bubbles gently breaking the surface. This is where patience comes into play. We need to let it simmer until it thickens, which will take about an hour. Yes, an hour. But trust me, it's worth every minute. This slow cooking process allows the flavors to meld together, creating a depth and complexity that's the hallmark of a great rendang. As the mixture simmers, it will transform. The coconut milk will reduce, becoming thicker and more concentrated. The color will change from a creamy white to a rich caramel brown. The meat will become tender, absorbing the flavors of the spices and coconut milk. This is the magic of rendang, a dish that's as much about the journey as it is about the destination. And there you have it. The rendang is now on its way to becoming the flavorful, tender and rich dish we all know and love. Remember to keep stirring occasionally to prevent it from sticking to the pan, and adjust the heat as necessary to keep it at a gentle simmer. The aroma filling the kitchen is a hint that we're on the right track. This is the smell of home, of tradition, of a dish that's been passed down through generations. It's the smell of rendang, A dish that's as complex and captivating as the culture it comes from. And we're just getting started. Stay tuned for the final steps in this culinary adventure. As our rendang simmers, we move on to the final steps. Now it's time to add the remaining ingredients to the pot. This includes the thick coconut milk, a crucial element that brings the dish together by adding a rich depth of flavor. Pour it in slowly, and stir gently to ensure everything gets evenly incorporated. Next, we adjust the seasoning. Rendang is known for its bold, complex taste, a harmony of sweet, spicy, and savory. To achieve this, we add more salt, a bit more sugar, and some extra chili if you're a fan of heat. Remember, the key to a good rendang is balance, so adjust the seasoning to your liking but don't go overboard. Now we continue simmering the rendang. This is a slow-cooked dish and patience is paramount. The sauce should thicken gradually and the meat will become tender, almost falling apart. This process takes time, so don't rush it. Allow the flavors to meld together and the sauce to reduce to a rich, dark gravy. But how do you know when your rendang is done? There are a few signs to look for. First, the meat should be tender enough to cut with a spoon. Second, the sauce should have reduced considerably and coated the meat pieces. Lastly, the color of the rendang should be a dark brown, a sign that the spices and coconut milk have caramelized. If you see these signs, then congratulations, you've successfully cooked rendang. But remember, the flavors of this dish improve with time. So, if you can resist the temptation, let it sit for a few hours or even overnight. This will allow the flavors to deepen and the meat to absorb all the wonderful spices. With that, our rendang is ready to be served. A dish that's worth every minute of the time spent making it, a testament to the rich and diverse culinary tradition of Indonesia. Enjoy your meal and remember, the journey of cooking is just as important as the destination. Voila! Your authentic Indonesian rendang is ready. This is a dish that encapsulates the essence of Indonesian cuisine, a marvelous blend of spices and techniques, resulting in a symphony of flavors. We've journeyed through the steps together, from preparing the ingredients, to slow cooking the meat until it's tender and succulent, and finally, letting it simmer in a rich, spice-infused coconut milk sauce. The beauty of rendang lies in its complexity. The intricate dance of spices, the slow transformation of the meat, the gradual thickening of the sauce. It's a labor of love, patience, and respect for the traditional methods that have been passed down through generations. And here's the thing about making rendang, the longer it simmers, the more delicious it becomes. So don't rush it, let the flavors meld, let the aromas fill your kitchen. You've not just prepared a meal, you've created an experience. Congratulations, you've just made a flavorful journey to Indonesia from your kitchen. Enjoy your rendang.